Can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for the Scout oath and law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God, my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now the Scout law. A Scout is
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thank you very much. The Scout motto is be prepared. So Scouts, we're going to call an audible because we have more people right now than chairs. If the Scouts could please grab a chair and put yourselves down in an orderly fashion, we can get started. Carry on.
I now officially declare this Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Jeremy Malacca and William DeLong open. Thank you all for coming. I would like to welcome all of you to this Court of Honor, the celebration of two young men in their scouting journey. First off, I would like to recognize some guests that are here today. Special recognition to the following honored guests. William's grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Gordon Ringer Jr., and Ms. Barbara Kirk, if you would stand, please. Jerry and Hilda Carroll. We have with us today Essex County District Attorney, former Massachusetts State Representative, and former Salem Police Chief Paul Tucker. Massachusetts State Senator and former Salem City Council, John Lovely. We have the current 7th Essex District State Representative and former Salem School Committee member, Nate Cruz. We have acting mayor and longtime city councilor, Bob McCarthy. At this time, I would like to invite Senator John Lovely up to say a few words.
very, very deserving Scouts. It is the highlight of what we do in the legislature to be able to come and honor these two Scouts as they achieve the highest rank in Scout Eagle rank. And I do have two resolutions that we passed in the Senate that I would like to read. These are very official, and that I would like to read these and present these to the two. Massachusetts Senate resolutions congratulating Jeremy Velaka on his elevation to the rank of Eagle Scout, whereas Jeremy Velaka of the city of Salem will be elevated to the rank of Eagle Scout at a court of honor to be held on January 8, 2023 at the Salem Community Life Center in the city of Salem, and whereas the virtues of leadership, patience, and perseverance can be seen in many of Jeremy's accomplishments, most notably in his Eagle Scout project, and whereas for his Eagle Scout project, Jeremy worked with Mass in Motion to install additional bike racks at the Salem Academy Charter School to encourage students to commute to school by bicycle and make it easier for them to store their bikes once there. And whereas Jeremy has brought great honor to himself, his family, Troop 83, the Boy Scouts of America, his community, and the Commonwealth. Now therefore be it resolved that the Massachusetts Senate hereby congratulates Jeremy Velaka on his elevation to the rank of Eagle Scout and further extends to him its sincere best wishes for continued success in all of his future endeavors. And be it further resolved that a copy of these resolutions be transmitted forthwith by the clerk of the Senate to Jeremy Velaka. This is signed by our president, Karen Spilka, our clerk, Michael Hurley, and authored by me with just tremendous pride to Jeremy Velaka, Joan Lovely. Congratulations, Jeremy. Congratulations. And now, if I could read the resolution congratulating William DeLong on his elevation to the rank of Eagle Scout, the Massachusetts Senate resolutions. Whereas William DeLong of the city of Salem will be elevated to the rank of Eagle Scout at a court of honor to be held on January 8, 2023 at the Salem Community Life Center in the city of Salem. And whereas the virtues of leadership, patience, and perseverance can be seen in many of William's accomplishments, most notably his Eagle Scout project. And whereas for his Eagle Scout project, William planned, led, and executed the construction of 3 flag retirement boxes in the city of Salem to provide a space for residents to honorably retire their American flags. And whereas William has brought great honor to himself, his family, Troop 24, the Boy Scouts of America, his community, and the Commonwealth. Now therefore be it resolved that the Massachusetts Senate hereby congratulates William DeLong on his elevation to the rank of Eagle Scout and further extends to him its sincerest best wishes for continued success in all his future endeavors. And be it further resolved that a copy of these resolutions be transmitted forthwith by the clerk of the Senate to William DeLong. It is signed by our president, Karen Spilka, our clerk, Michael Hurley, and again, offered by me, your state senator, Joan Lovely, with great pride. Congratulations, folks. In closing, I just want to say thank you for the invitation to be here today to honor these 2 Eagle Scouts. Thank you to the Scout leadership, to all of the Scouts here, to all your families. These Scouts don't do this on their own. They get a lot of support through families, through their troop. So we're just so proud to be here to celebrate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. At this time, I would like to invite Attorney General Paul Tucker up to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is such an honor for me to be coming to yet another Eagle Scout ceremony. I've been to so many over the last 8 years as a state representative, and let me tell you, it never gets old. What we're doing here today, if you take a look around, there's a special feeling. I felt, and I think everybody else did when we entered this room here today. This represents over 100 years of ceremonies just like this, celebrating the true honor of someone becoming an Eagle Scout. Now, today, William and Jeremy join a long line of others who have come before them. They literally stand on the shoulders of others who have made Eagle, and that came as a part of a long, long journey. We also know, and I've done a lot of research, every time I speak at an Eagle Scout ceremony, I always look back, and the long line of people who have made Eagle in political life, civic leaders, civil rights leaders, entertainment, across the board, sports figures, they all have something in common. And while they may not all be famous, what they have in common is that thread of being an eagle, the symbol of the eagle, and what it stands for is strength and character. Now, as Senator Lovely said, we know this is a journey. We also know that the Eagles don't do this alone. So today is a day, hopefully, that the families will enjoy as well. William, when I read your work that you've done and what you did with the flag boxes, nothing short of extraordinary. And while they certainly represent something physical, something that we can see, I think it also represents a lot more than that. It represents our flag, it represents respect, honor, and particularly respect for our veterans who some have given the ultimate sacrifice for this flag and for this country. Jeremy, I've watched from being a young boy, 3rd grade, coming to the State House. I feel like we've kind of come full circle a little bit. I've watched him grow up into an extraordinary young man. When I take a look at his project and all it stands for, again, they're not simply bicycle racks outside Salem Academy. They stand for so much more. And if you take a look at what that represents, it's safety, it's our environment, it's a reduction of traffic, and it's really a good thing for kids. I know that Jeremy works with Mass in Motion, an extraordinary organization that does so much for our health. So I too have a citation, and if you'll bear with me, there's a bit of history with these citations. These mean a great deal, and Senator Lovely and I, we've certainly given our share, but each one represents a special event to a special person, and for me this represents a little extra special because this is my final one that I'll be presenting after 8 years as a state rep. So Jeremy, if you'd come up so I can give this to you for the final time, giving the citation. To Jeremy, attaining the pinnacle of scouting by earning the rank of Eagle, and for all your community work, including your service project, building bicycle racks at the Salem Academy Charter School. Congratulations, very proud. So, in closing, I know we're going to hear from my successor, who I'm very proud has taken over, our acting mayor, who's going to do a fabulous job as well. Enjoy this day. This is very special. It represents so much, and I can tell you, I know Eagle Scouts that are in their 70s and 80s now, and they look back on this day as one of the most special days in their life, and they have all lived the ideals. With this great achievement comes great responsibility. I know that William and Jeremy will honor what an Eagle Scout is all about. Thanks very much.
At this time, we will invite Representative Manny Cruz to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Try that one more time. Good afternoon. There we go. Much better, much better. It is such an honor to be with you all today for what is my first Eagle Scout ceremony as the state representative for the city of Salem. Serving in the office of Representative Tucker, I always had the privilege of preparing citations, coming to events to take photos. And now that I hold this seat, it's so special to be able to learn about the projects that both Jeremy and William undertook in our community. And I did want to clarify one thing. I'm not a former school committee member, I'm a current school committee member. I don't plan to resign, so for any parents who heard that former, I got a little bit of nerves, just know that I still plan to serve on the community's school committee. Yes, and as I think about these projects, the retirement of flags, bicycles at the Salem Academy Charter, I think about the power of youth voice and youth service. I wouldn't be standing before you today as the state representative for the city of Salem if it was not for the experience I had as a youth leader right here in our community, both through the Boys and Girls Club, League for Education, and as a future leader at the National Park Service. And it is the experiences that you have building projects like this that really do make a difference in our community. I always try to remind folks, no matter what we do in this life, every small action has an impact that extends well beyond that day. As you think about the retirement of a flag and what that might mean to a family who has lost a service member, that you have treated that flag with dignity and respect. As you think about a bicycle and what it means for our environment, for transit, for housing policy, this is an incredible step to be able to have our young people creating these changes. And it is with great honor that as Paul does his last citation, I do my first for William DeLong. And I'd like to read it, so please indulge me for a moment. Be it hereby known to all, the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to William DeLong in recognition of your achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout and for your contributions to the city of Salem. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given on this day, January 8th, signed by the Speaker of the House, Ronald Mariano, and offered by myself, Annie Cruz, State Representative for the 7th Essex. William. I'd also like to extend my thanks to the families that are here today and to the Scout leadership. I really appreciated receiving this invitation to be able to participate, and I look forward to honoring future Scouts and to continue to partner with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Cruz, and I do apologize for cutting you short of your fine work that you're doing. I think I just assumed that you moved to one position, you have to give up the other, but I didn't know that about the school committee, so I learned something today. At this time, I'd like to invite up our newest member of our honorable city government, well, newest position for a long-time member. Bob McCarthy is our acting city mayor, and a long-time city councilor with us to say a few words.
Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Oh, wow. It's moving, it's sliding. I want to extend to the families the utmost thanks for my invitation here today. I mean, as you all know, it's been a whirlwind week for me, and I opened up a Facebook Evite just yesterday, the day before, and I was so happy to open it up, and I was so humbled by the invitation. I'm so happy to be here tonight because anybody who knows me and anyone who's heard me speak in front of anybody, I always preach family. And I said it just this past Wednesday when my colleagues on the council elevated me to this position. And I will say it again, no one who serves in any capacity or achieves such a great achievement as Eagle Scout can do it alone. They cannot do it without family. All the countless hours, all those badges that you have represent countless time and effort that you put into this endeavor through your entire young adult life. And always remember, you couldn't do it without your family. And after today, once you're bestowed upon this great honor of being an Eagle Scout, they'll never be able to take it away from you. It is something that will be with you for the rest of your life. And as the district attorney alluded to, you'll always be an Eagle Scout, and people will respect you for it because you've earned that respect. And always remember, you couldn't have done it without your family. I mean it with all sincerity. I also want to recognize our Veterans Agent Kim Emmerling that's here with us today. As well as City Councilor Jeff Cohen from Ward 5, who's joined us. And I also want to put a special shout out to my new staff at the mayor's office, whom I sent the Evite to on Friday, and they did what they do, is they have done for the mayor for the last 17 years, and they're going to try to do it for me for the next 5, but keep them there. They put together this city seal and this little statement that I will read, and I will start with Jeremy. The City of Salem proudly honors and recognizes Jeremy Vadalaka, Eagle Scout, Boy Scouts of America, Troop 83. As the highest achievement in Boy Scouts, I commend you for all the hard work, personal time, and commitment required to attain this honor. Your compassion, energy, and organizational skills have enabled you to take part in this installation of bike racks throughout the city in wonderful, worthy cause. The leadership skills and knowledge you have obtained will guide you throughout your life. You have already shown that you will be a true leader of the community as you continue on your life's journey. Congratulations and best wishes for the success of your future. Signed this day, January 8th, 2023, Robert K. McCarthy, Mayor of City of Salem. You also proud she is?
Forgive me if I don't.
Yes. And it's what was just stated too. I'm honored. This is my first, and I will never forget this one. I really do appreciate this honor. And with that, I will read my second one, which goes to William DeLong. The City of Salem proudly honors and recognizes William DeLong, Eagle Scout, Boy Scouts of America, Troop 24. As the highest achievement in the Boy Scouts, I commend you for all of your hard work and personal time and commitment required to attain this honor. Your compassion, energy, organizational skills have enabled you to take part in building flag and retirement boxes, a wonderful and worthy cause. The leadership skills and knowledge you have obtained will guide you throughout your life. You have already shown that you will be a true leader of the community as you continue your life's journey. Congratulations and best wishes for all your success and endeavors. January 8th, 2023, Robert K. McCarthy, Mayor of City of Salem. Smile. Thank you, Jack. And once again, thank you to the Scout leadership, to working with these fine young men, and thank you to all of you for being here, and thanks for allowing me to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Are there any other proclamations or honorary speeches prepared for today? Very few Scouts make it this far. Only about 2% of Scouts worldwide. It's a great achievement for all parties involved. The Scout, as mentioned before, the family, his community, his troop unit. Actually, I have to correct myself, his or her troop unit now. And the Boy Scouts of America in general. Will all of those in the audience who have earned Boy Scouting's highest award of Eagle Scout please stand and be recognized? Congratulations to you all, and thank you for being here with us today. Please remain standing for the Eagle Challenge. Scouting is no doubt one of the greatest organizations in the world to foster the highest ideals of personal fitness, character development, citizenship, and leadership. What does the Eagle Badge represent? It means that the Scout has set a goal and worked to achieve that goal. The Eagle Scout Badge stands for strength of character. The Eagle Scout Badge is a symbol of what the Scout has done. But more important, it represents what the Scout will do in the future as they grow throughout their lives. Today we recognize two of these Eagle Scouts, Jeremy Vadalaka and William DeLong. Would you please come up front? I now invite Rob Pelletier to the podium to present the Eagle Challenge to Jeremy and William, along with all of the Eagle Scouts present today.
calling another audible again. I'm Steve Boris, Assistant Scoutmaster, Troop 24. With the challenge. The Boy Scouts of America constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in history, and you, William and Jeremy, have been counted worthy of this highest rank in its membership. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You, both of you, are marked men. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to your fellow Scouts, and to all of mankind. It is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother and sister Scouts. America has many good things to give you and your children after you. But these good things depend upon the qualities she instills in her citizens. As an Eagle Scout, you are prepared to help America in all that she needs most. She has a great past, and you are here to make her future even greater. I charge to you to undertake your citizenship with solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and your fellow man. We have too many who use their strength and their intellect to exploit others for selfish gains. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence to God. Whatever others may do, I charge you to leave behind you a record of which every citizen may be proud. And that is the charge. All Eagles, I believe, may be seated. Like I said, calling audibles here.
They should stay.
Oh, they should stay. Stay. I'd like to present Scoutmaster Peter Bennett and Scoutmaster Ray Prescott for Troop 83 for the obligations of the Eagle Scout.
The Eagle rank represents proficiency in all scouting skills. It is attended by only about 2% of all young men in scouting. It represents a great deal of teamwork as a member and leader of the troop. It demonstrated by living the Scout Oath and Scout Law in an effort to perpetuate the scouting spirit. It also represented years of hard work, strength of character, persistence, and more importantly, it is indicative of what lies in the future as the Scout grows into manhood. Eagle rank testifies that the Scout has an understanding of his community, his nation, and a willingness to become involved. It is also fitting at this time to explain that not only does this badge signify his hard work, it also signifies certain obligations on his part.
The first obligation of an Eagle Scout is honor. The white in the Eagle badge represents honor, and it is the sacred foundation of his character. Character is not what you think of yourself, William and Jeremy, but what you are deep inside. It is what you do to reflect credit upon your home, your family, church, school, friends, and yourself. Always let the white of the badge remind you to live with honor.
The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. The blue in the Eagle badge represents loyalty. The loyalty for without it, character lacks direction. Regardless of how rough the road, how difficult the task, or how impossible the situation, you must remain loyal to your cause and purpose. It is the sense of belonging, being part of a team, and working together with others. It is standing by your work, your promises, and your pledges. It is also the feeling you give others, knowing that they can count on you. So The blue of this badge remind you to remain loyal.
Third obligation of Eagle Scout is courage. The red in the Eagle badge represents courage. It gives your character force and strength. If you have faith in God and your fellow man, you will be able to face each day unafraid and strive to share in the work at hand. You should do your part in all things, regardless of danger, adversity, or hardship. Let the red in the badge remind you of courage.
The fourth obligation is responsibility and is represented by the Scout motto, be prepared. It means that you are always in a state of readiness, both in mind and body, so you'll be able to face danger and help others to the best of your ability. It also means that you have been trained for emergencies and that you are confident of your ability to do your duty as an Eagle Scout.
The fifth and final obligation is that of service. This obligation is represented by the eagle. You must extend a helping hand to those who still toil up in the Scouting Trail, just as others help you achieve your goal. It means that the daily good turn must continue. You must strive to protect the weak and defend the helpless. The eagle also indicates that you are now an elite member of an esteemed group of world citizens. With this honor comes the knowledge that any discredit which falls upon you also befalls your brother Eagle Scouts.
Awarding the Eagle is an important and serious matter. It is the goal toward which these two Scouts have been working for many years. It is a culmination of the efforts of parents and leaders of these Scouts. It is an occasion for pride and for joy. Eagle is the highest and most coveted award in all of Scouting. It is the last major step in the advancement program. It is at this point that Scouting has achieved its purpose in these Eagles. In building participating citizenship and growth in moral strength and character and development in physical, mental, and emotional fitness.
Jeremy and William, are you willing to accept these obligations, responsibilities, and the honor of Eagle Scout Badge?
Sure.
Repeat after me. Both of you? Yes, with the help of God, they are. Okay. I love that. So remember your obligations of honor, loyalty, courage, responsibility, and service. Our heartfelt congratulations to you on this very, very special occasion. And our sincere hope is that you may always wear your Eagle Badge with dignity and pride. So, at this point, I would like to speak a little bit about Jeremy's road to Eagle. Still standing.
You don't get a shade.
So, Jeremy, let me go into the files here. All right. So, Jeremy was invited to Scouts by his fellow schoolmate Keanu Preston as part of the first class requirement, invite a friend. I guess Jeremy took a liking to what we were doing on that day, and he returned the following week to officially sign up on December of 2015. Jeremy, like most boys his age, was too cool for everything. And he would always take the time to gather his thoughts. Well, you see, it is how he would always respond if he had to ponder first as to why are you asking me these questions? Well, you see, soon became a very witty joke between Jeremy and the other leaders. And it would often bring a smile onto his face, even if he was making a tough decision, as you can see. Jeremy attended his first summer camp on August 2016 and completed the week with much excitement for the following year. Jeremy exhibited the 12 points of the Scout Law even before he knew the laws of Scouting. Trustworthy. He was always truthful and kept his promises. He was loyal. He supported his sister in all of her events, and he was present at many of our Scouting events. All the ones that he could attend, he was there. He's helpful. He volunteered at city events and helped guide the younger Scouts. Always friendly to everyone, never had a disgruntled word. He was always courteous, always being polite, and forever good manners. He's kind, he always treated others with respect, and always ready to give a helping hand. He was obedient, he followed the rules. Well, for the most part, as boys would. He's also often very cheerful. I don't recall ever seeing a melancholy demeanor at any point with Jeremy, and he always tried to make others happy. Thrifty, he's never wasteful, and he would reuse or recycle supplies whenever possible. Brave, unfortunately or fortunately, he did not have to battle a bear, but he would never say no to impromptu situations such as this, where he would say, hey, Jeremy, you need to make a speech, or you need to say something. He would just do it. Clean, always well put together in appearance and hygiene, and never once have I had to ask Jeremy, is that your chocolate bar wrapper at the fire pit? Now, Reverend, always kept his faith and even invited others to participate in some of his church events. Jeremy became a Life Scout on September 2020 as a patrol leader, and then soon voted by his peers to ASPL, Assistant Senior Patrol Leader, a position of responsibility that he held until his 18th birthday. As part of Road to Eagle, Jeremy came with a proposal to help his then high school, Salem Academy, to build bike racks. Jeremy wrote, when considering what needs there were in my community, I saw a large need for bicycle racks at my school and decided my project should provide my school, Salem Academy Charter School, with at least one new bike rack to benefit those looking to ride their bicycles to and from school. Currently, the school has one five bicycle rack, which is in disrepair and in an inconvenient location for the high school students. If students want to ride the bike to school, there's nowhere to safely leave it when they're in class. This leaves little incentive for riding the bike to school, which is not only a good form of exercise, but it's also a clean means of transportation, which is good for the environment. To remedy this, I would like to add an additional bike rack alongside the old one. This would be done by having a long hole made in the gym for cement posts, which we would then hook a chain to keep the bikes safe. This project, he said, would be helpful to his school, his community, and help him pursue a clean means of transportation for exercise. Jeremy participated in his last official interview, the Board of Review, on February 17, 2022, at which time he was awarded Eagle Scout. Okay. So,
Well, you see, the thing is, it's funny because I texted Ray like 6 times this week, and every one of those texts started with, well, you see, Sunday we have to. We have a lot of fun. Boy Scouts, or Scouts now as it's known, is a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun, and that's what keeps them here, and that's what elevates them to the young men that they are, and eventually the old men that they'll be. This time I would like to administer the pledge with Jeremy. Jeremy, if you give me the salute. Repeat after me. I
Jeremy Galacco,
believe in the Boy Scouts of America
believe in the Boy Scouts of America
as a movement which has its aim and purpose
as a movement which has its aim and purpose,
character building and citizenship training.
character building and citizenship training.
I believe it to be a movement
I believe it to be a movement that
helps a scout become a master of their own powers,
helps the scouts become a master of their own powers,
helps them get along with other people,
helps them get along with other people,
helps them find a worthy use for their powers.
helps them find a worthy use for their powers.
I therefore believe that it is my duty to do my best
I therefore believe that it is my duty to do my best
to obey the scout oath and law.
to obey the scout oath and law.
I hereby renew my faith in scouting
Hereby renew my faith in scouting,
and promise to do what I can
promise to do what I can
in service to other scouts
in service to other scouts
who have not come thus far along the Eagle Trail.
who have come thus far along the Eagle Trail.
Jeremy Galacco, I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding before you the ideals of honor and service. By repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, you will become an Eagle Scout. Through the words you use will be similar to those by which you join Scouting. Tonight, they will mean more than they have ever meant at any time in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout. With the words which close the Declaration of Independence. So Jeremy, well, you're standing. So I want you to hold Scout sign again and repeat after me. All right. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I reaffirm my allegiance
I reaffirm my allegiance
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities
the obligations and responsibilities
of the rank of Eagle.
of the rank of Eagle.
On my honor,
On my honor,
I will do my best
I will do my best
to make, by training and example,
to make by training and example
my rank and my influence
my rank and my influence
count strongly for better citizenship
count strongly for better citizenship
in my troop,
in my troop,
in my church,
in my church,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this, I pledge my word of honor.
To this, I pledge my word of honor.
It is my privilege, Jeremy, to pronounce you the newest Scout, Eagle Scout of Troop 83. May the oath you have taken remain graven in your heart forever. Hey, brothers.
You say, oh.
No. No. There you go.
As has been mentioned a few times today, Parents and families play an incredibly important role for a scout to reach this achievement. No boy moving up to young man can do this without the support structure. Parent support through their guidance, encouragement, rides, money, popcorn sales at the office, and on and on. But also the support in making these boys believe that they can do this and giving them the encouragement. I would like now to present the parents of Troop 83's newest Eagle Scout with a pin of recognition. Unfortunately, Jay could not be here with us today, but if we can invite Jackie up now. And since we're televising this and recording this today, Jackie could take the camera home, send you all a video of him presenting the pin to his dad as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to present this to you. There we go. I mean,
I don't even have to say it.
well, honestly, there aren't enough words to describe. I mean, I could definitely try, and I will try. But there's so many words that I could use to describe how much help you've been. Not just in terms of scouting, in the back is really fall off. As we all know, scout products are the most functional.
Highest quality.
All right, let's guys, one more time. Could be better. I'm afraid it stays there. All right, but yes, as I was saying, you've been helpful in so many ways, not just in scouting, but from day one, just so much support in terms of, you know, if I ever had a project for school, you were right there next to me. If I ever had a paper to write, you were there checking it over, making sure that it was done to the utmost quality. Even if it was a little bit over the top, that's completely fine, you know? Better quality stuff for me, I guess. But, you know, from day one to even now, you know, I'm up in Burlington, Vermont, you know, 3 hours away. You're still trying to do your best as much as you can. If I'm ever in need, you'll make the weekend trip, or if I'm ever hungry, you'll send food up or supplies up. And just the amount of support that you've shown relentlessly, even if I'm difficult, even if, you know, things are challenging, you have been there, and you've always shown your support. So thank you so much.
Now, Jeremy started his speech already, but we're going to give him some more time, put him on the spot.
Let's step over here now. Hello. Okay, well, come on. Maybe good afternoon. Can I get a hello back? Hello! Thank you! That's what I need, the energy. Because if I don't want to fall over, there's so much pressure and weight. Let me tell you, I can feel it. But yeah, this accomplishment, I think has been as repeated. I'm going to repeat a lot of what they've been saying. It hasn't been easy. Definitely not. There's been a lot of trouble from, you know, the moment I joined Scouts, you know, as kind as Jordan's words were, I was definitely a pain in the neck. Definitely a pain in the neck, as I'm sure you can attest, you know. The first camping trips I was on, I would complain if I, you know, had to clean up the dishes because it was cold. It was cold in November. It was outdoors. Sticking your hand in like the bleach water, that sucked. I'll be real with you. Awful. Sleeping in a tent, I didn't like that. Getting my hands dirty, gross. Awful. It was. Let me tell you, the first, you know, year even of Scouts, it was tricky for me. I'm sure it was tricky for them. But one thing that I think isn't in the oath, it's not in the law, that kept me going through that was determination. Believe it or not, it wasn't for the sake of obtaining Eagle Scout. It was for the sake of getting a scholarship. That's what got me through. That's what brought me in. So, yeah, it's funny how things work out. But as time progressed, as I started spending more time, I went to summer camps, I spent more time with my troop. I really got to know what being a scout was. I began to appreciate a lot more about it. You know, having to deal with the cleaning on each trip, yeah, it was uncomfortable. But something that I've had to do so much in my life, you know, at home, I have to do my duty, you know, to my family, I have to do chores, and as most of you should. And this has been the same thing up in Burlington, Vermont at college, you know. I'm up on my own, there's nobody there to do things for me. So even if things are a pain in the neck, even if the washing machines break down, the dryers break down, they break down a lot. I have to do my best to try and make do with what I got. And get my hands dirty and really make sure that I can do the best I can do. Towards the end of my scouting last year, honestly, it's 2 years ago at this point, it's 2023, isn't it? Time flies. I definitely had to show a lot more determination than I ever had to in the past. Because of COVID, because of all sorts of other problems, I was working a bunch of different jobs. The Eagle Scout project definitely was a task to try and complete. It was months to the deadline to my 18th birthday. I was working several jobs. I don't think I even had a plan in mind. I think I was like sort of circulating around ideas. Well, maybe I could do this. My dad was suggesting bat houses. I was like, okay, well, my heart's not really invested in that, but you know, we'll put it up on the board here. We'll see what we get. I think it was as soon as I started going back to school and I started going back and forth that the idea came to me for the bike rack for Salem Academy. Because, as I said before, you know, as listed in the pamphlets, I'm sure, going to Salem Academy with a bike was a challenge in itself. You go to the school and there's this crummy looking bike rack right outside the lower school entrance, which had been there ever since I think I even joined Scouting, maybe even before. It was in disrepair. It was awful. It was rusting out, and there was so little space. You had bikes stacked on top of one another. If I ever wanted to put my bike down somewhere, it was difficult to find a space. I would often have to. It was often more efficient just to walk to my school at that point because of how far away I had to lock up my bike. If you ever tried to lock your bike to any of the fences in Shetland or anywhere nearby that wasn't a bike rack, they would cut the bike locks off and take it away, which is crazy to me because so many people rode their bikes there. So many people relied on that form of transportation. And yet it wasn't being given these bikes weren't being given an adequate home. They weren't given the space that they needed. So, after observing that, I guess, you know, that's where I came up with the idea there as a fellow bicyclist myself. Now, doing this project in itself, you know, assembling the bike rack, oddly enough, wasn't the hard part. It was communicating. Communicating was definitely the struggle of the whole thing. Between communicating with my school, communicating with Shetland Park, communicating with Mr. P and the Scouts, there was a lot of people to communicate with. With Mass in Motion, getting donations for the bike rack, there was a lot that went into it in terms of communicating. If you looked at my email from back then, flooded, absolutely flooded, a sea of emails. I do not miss that. Let me tell you. But with the support of my mom, with the support of Mr. Peeney and everyone behind me, we did manage to secure donations. It was tough transporting these bike racks because when we went there to where all these bike parts were, we didn't have a pickup truck or anything like that. We had our minivan, our nice little Honda minivan, which has been around for as long as I have. And we have these big, giant bike rack parts. And yeah, I intended to do one bike rack. Turns out the parts were enough for 2. So we rolled the punches, we load all these bike rack parts into the van, and we take it down there. And after all that was settled, I called on a few of my friends at Salem Academy who were looking for service hours to close up their senior year. And one morning, we went out into the cold November air, yes, November, right before my birthday, my 18th birthday. And we get it done. We build it up. We spray paint to give it a new coat of paint. We tried definitely to plans, as a filmmaker, something that we often say to ourselves is it's not a big project if something doesn't go wrong. Somewhere in communication, something fell through where I couldn't fasten these bike racks next to the gym in the way that I intended to, with concrete and all of that. But we adapted. We definitely communicated with, I communicated with Salem Academy to make sure that they were given the adequate home. In the end, they went next to this Salem Academy lower school entrance. They got a fair bit of use out of them. People really appreciate them. For a long time throughout my high school experience, I'd often get people coming up to me asking where these bike racks came from, if I was the one who did them. And they really were the highlight of people's years, because no longer were people cramming bikes on top of each other, trying to wonder where they were actually going to lock up their bicycles. Now, with ease, they could say that they could lock up their bikes and not have to worry about where they were locking them up, if they would have their locks cut or anything like that. It was just a lot easier on a lot of people at the Salem Academy High School community. And honestly, hearing that sort of response made all of that communication worth it, because I know that there were so many people, my friends, people who I worked with in that school, who struggled with this issue. And hearing them, now finally be at ease, it is a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and it definitely made all that communication worth it. So after that project was done, believe it or not, once you build the bike rack, there's still a lot more communication to do. A lot more forms, a lot more papers. Mr. Prescott was there every moment of the way, up until the 11th hour. In fact, I think it was an hour before my birthday. Literally. 11 o'clock at night. I come up to his house, I hand him these papers. And I think I broke the record, right?
So for 83, yes, you have the record.
For 83, I broke the record of the latest one in. Which, I mean, hey, as a senior of senioritis, hey, time management was not quite there. But that definitely taught me a valuable lesson, to be a lot more conscious of my time. And it served me well, definitely, as I've been up at Burlington for months. When I'm out on my own, when I don't have people look out for me, and I have all these papers and these assignments to do, no one's going to be looking over my shoulder being, hey, have you done this? Hey, do you need to do that? Now I sort of take ownership of everything that I do, and I take ownership of it, and I put my pride into it. And I put a lot more work into it than I had, than I maybe would have if I hadn't done scouting. So really this whole experience has been a one in a lifetime, something that's truly indistinguishable from my other experiences in my life. And without it, I don't think I could say that I'd be the person I am today. So I gotta say thank you to the scouts who have helped me with this project or helped me throughout my scouting experience. Thank you to Mr. Peeney, Mr. Prescott, who have helped me out every step of the way as well. My family, mom, grandma, you both have been extremely helpful and extremely supportive of me from day one. My dad couldn't be here, that's fine. I'll make sure to give him a big hug when I get home. My friends who couldn't be here, but my friends at Salem Academy who helped me put this project together. There's so many people who have supported me And I can't give enough thanks to John and Lori, who I know are in this room. I don't know where you are. Raise your hands, please. Thank you so much for your help. You've always been so kind to me. Mitchell, if it weren't for you, I don't know if I would have ever managed to get through college applications and submit my essays on time. You've been the biggest help to me in that regard. There's so many people to name and so many supports that I've had. And all I can say is just thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really means a lot to me. Going forward.
So Jeremy, I would like to invite you to present your pin to your mentor.
Yes. All right, Mr. Pini, please come up. Mr. Pini, you've been there for me, definitely throughout the whole Eagle Scout process. You know, as I was giving you all sorts of proposals, you were real with me, you were honest with me, being what would work, what wouldn't. And that honesty, you know, even though at times I got annoyed, I got aggravated, it pushed me in the right direction. It really did. It allowed me to make an impact that I can honestly say I'm really proud of, and I can honestly say that a lot of people are really appreciative of. So for your help with my Eagle Scout project, and not just that, but from day one of scouting, helping me even though I was an annoying kid, a pain in the neck.
Not the worst.
Not the worst, well, you know, that's all. Even, you know, though I may have been a little bit tricky, you have been with me. You've been definitely with me, and a big help. So for that, I might. Maybe I have to sit down.
So resilient.
That's right. So I was determined.
I'd like to invite Peter Bennett and Steve Boris to talk about the Road to Eagle for William.
All right. Everybody still ready to go?
Yes.
The path to Eagle clearly is not an easy one. And many times this portion of the program is sort of a detailing of the steps and the dates and ranks and facts and figures and, you know, one or two little stories. I'm going to do it slightly different here. I've had the privilege of knowing William since 2017 when my son Thomas joined Troop 24 in Salem. We relocated from Jersey. I became an assistant scoutmaster, attending different meetings. So my observation of William, again, is slightly different from other people who might be here. My most vivid early memory of William was the Troops Court of Honor in the fall of 2017. For those of you who aren't familiar, a Court of Honor, not the Eagle Court of Honor, but a traditional Court of Honor is a chance for the scouts and the parents to see the fruits of scouting, with merit badges and new ranks being distributed. The fall 2017 Court of Honor for Troop 24 was the first one in about 12 months. It was also my first at this troop. In large measure, most of the scouts were collecting 2 to 3, maybe 4 merit badges that they had earned at summer camp 2017. By the way, that's no small feat. Earning 1 merit badge is enough for anybody, especially under the age of 18. And I was part of the program handing out badges. When it came to distribute Williams badges, I was stunned. He clocked in at 11 badges. the largest hall of any scout at that court of honor, and across my 7 years of life on this planet, the biggest hall I've ever seen. And there were some badges on that list: electricity, dentistry. I didn't even know they existed.
There's also nuclear engineering. I don't have that.
Every scout is an individual, just like a fingerprint. Some scouts excel at acquiring merit badges, some at camping skills, some at scout spirit. Notwithstanding the hall that I just talked about, William is full of scout spirit. I couldn't recall attending a meeting where he wasn't there, a campsite where he was there. He was probably more often there, present, and doing things than I was. I attended 2 summer camps with Troop 24, and William was on both of them. Perhaps most tellingly was, at least for Troop 24, the legendary Troop, the summer camp of 2018, where I think Peter's, was anyone else there in 2018?
We're quite about it. Right, yeah.
Okay, oh yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah. It poured, teemed down with rain every single day, except for one day.
Except for Thursday.
Except for Thursday, right. I mean poured. I have footage of rivers suddenly starting in our campsite, like coming down. Poured. I have footage of the scouts standing there. It's at summer camp, so you have formation. And it's just pouring down. But there's not Boy Scouts with umbrellas or anything else. That's just Boy Scouts getting soaked to the bone. My son Thomas said even my dry clothes were wet. It was wet. There was only one scout who didn't complain. This guy over here.
I think that's a lie.
If you did complain, I didn't hear it, maybe. And finally, when my son Thomas had his Eagle project, he was collecting sleeping bags. William was one of the few dedicated scouts that come out on that cold February. William seems to always be there. His exuberance is well known in the troop. His professionalism, perhaps, may be less well known. During a meeting where the scouts were discussing ideas for an event, and most scouts were scrambling to put together something on the fly, William just sat there with his laptop, and he refined his already assembled idea. It was some like CAD CAM software or something like that, but like I couldn't. Okay, there we go, Microsoft. Shh. During his presentation to district to attain his approval, when William gave his speech, on the flag boxes, the speech was actually right out there. The boxes are over here. He was all business. He had better public speaking skills than most adults that I know. I'll go a little step further. When it was time for his board of review, I keep talking about calling audibles. They said to him, "What does leadership mean to you?" Now, we're not supposed to coach the candidates. We're supposed to give them a little bit of prep, and you're not supposed to say, "Okay, here's a compendium of memorized answers. Go do it." This was not part of the prep. So they said to him, "What is leadership?" You may not remember this, but he paused, said, and he said, a leader is not someone who stands behind a desk barking orders. He is someone who comes out from behind a desk and fights with his people." All the folks there took out their notepads, were like, "Yeah, that's a keeper." Wrote it down. To this day, whenever I speak publicly, that is the last slide in my presentation. It's a keeper. I should point out, since we were talking about, there you go. I don't know if it's a genetic thing. When I got my Eagle, I finished my last merit badge with 18 days to go before my 18th birthday. Anything after the 18th, it's done. It's like Price is Right rules. Like you have to, you can go up to 18, but you can't go over. My nephew was 35 days. Thomas, I think, actually was good. He was about 45 days. While it's not genetic, I think we were about 30-ish days.
I don't know.
consisting of making sure that we had everything dated and signed. Are you sure it has to be signed? Are you sure you didn't mess something else? Oh, I see a lot of people shaking their heads. Yeah, it's like the fifth circle of heck. Trying to make sure you've got all that stuff. And then we were like, should we walk it down or should we go to, how is the pronunciation? Is it Woober? Remember, I'm from outside of Philadelphia originally, so I don't get the accent. But 2 minutes to midnight, with apologies to Steve Harris, you win. So, bravo. I am honored that William picked me to be his Eagle coach. I'm even more honored to be here today to give you this little trip down memory lane. And the project, which I'm not going to go into great detail, originally it started and then it kind of stopped. And then I had a meeting with him, and in that meeting I said, would you like to do the project? And just as he did about 20 minutes ago, his response was, sure. That is a little bit of William. And with that part of the program out, without further ado, I would like to move on to the Eagle Pledge. Okay. William. I, state your name,
I, William DeLong,
believe in the Boy Scouts of America
believe in the Boy Scouts of America
as a movement
as a movement
which has as its aim and purpose
which has as its aim and purpose
character building
character building
and citizenship training.
and citizenship training.
I believe it to be
I believe it to be
a movement
a movement
that helps a scout
that helps a scout
become master
become master
of their own powers,
of their own powers,
helps them get along
helps them get along
with other people,
with other people,
and helps them find
and helps them find
a worthy use for their
a
powers.
worthy use for their powers.
I therefore believe
I therefore believe
it is my duty
it is my duty
to do my best
to do my best
to obey the Scout oath and
to
law.
obey the Scout oath and law.
I hereby renew
I hereby renew
my faith in Scouting
my faith in Scouting
and promise to do what I can
and promise to do what I can
in service to other Scouts
in service to other Scouts
who have not come
who have not come
thus far
thus far
along the Eagle Trail.
along the Eagle Trail.
Peter, it is now Peter's chance to come up and say a few words and to also have a recitation.
Thank you, Steve. William.
Yep.
Please repeat after me. I reaffirm
I reaffirm
my allegiance
my allegiance
to the three promises
to the three promises
of the Scout Oath.
of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize
I thoughtfully recognize
and take upon myself
and take it upon myself
the obligations
the
and
obligations
responsibilities
and responsibilities
of the rank of Eagle Scout.
of the rank of Eagle Scout.
On my honor,
On my honor,
I will do my best
I will do my best
to make,
to make
by training,
my training,
example, my
example,
rank,
my rank,
and my influence,
and my influence
count strongly for better citizenship in my troop,
for betterment and citizenship in my troop
and in my church,
and in my church
and in my community,
and in my community
and in my contacts with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my word of honor.
To this I pledge my word of honor.
I reaffirm the allegiance of these three promises.
I reaffirm the allegiance of these three
I
promises.
thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself.
I thoughtfully recognize to take upon
I
myself.
think we just did this, didn't we?
Yeah.
It is my privilege and pleasure to pronounce you the newest Eagle Scouts of Troop 24. May the oath you have taken remain graven on your heart forever.
What's that? The next top.
Gas, take the change of light bulb. Hopefully water. Good. Finally, one more second. Here's it. Okay, just check the other side, Well, there are any of those patches on it, step one. So did I. That all. It's that easy. I also get to go to jail for it.
I can always hope.
Anything that I can say, I will say that.
Congratulations. And of course, all parents and grandparents play an incredibly important role for a Scout to reach that achievement. Parent support through their guidance, encouragement, participation, which Scout requires to succeed. I would now like to present the parents and grandparents of the new Eagle Scouts with a bit of recognition. Hurricane Bennett.
Physics, we all hate it.
No, we don't.
Fine, gravity, we all hate it.
Grandparents, please come up. I'd like to say a few words, William.
Fun, can we mess around with paper with that? Is it been 2 hours or not? I can't, I don't know. I don't know.
Speak louder.
Anyways, so, I know it's been said multiple times.
That's
Why
all.
mess with these life sentences?
No.
I know it's been said many times today, but I'll say again, thanks for being here today. Of course, you all know my name is William DeLong. I would try to say that backwards as a joke, but I don't know how to. So, as you've probably heard multiple times, people stealing my thunder. My Eagle Scout project was flag retirement boxes, which you can see as you enter the building over there. We built 3 of them and they're around the city. I don't remember the specific other locations. Memory's not that great. Like my mom says. And just basically retiring old flags, or at least collecting them so that they can be properly retired. I selected the Eagle projects after hearing I was selling at the Salem Veterans Services had been asking for apparently quite a while prior to this. And it was something that the troop was interested in doing as the Honorable Service project. But I decided to take it upon myself to lead the said project through to completion. The goal was to create a way for people to take their old flags and collect them so that they may properly retire, as I said. Flags are important, not only because they look nice, I think, but they also serve as representation of not only our nation's history and values, but also the people who died defending it. And the people who still live, who defend it to this day. And, well, can't say much more about it because boxes. We did a lot of work on making them. With help from Rachel Burgess, a lot of help from him. Without him, I don't think that project would have gone through to fruition. So thanks. But when I think back to personal favorite experiences, whether it be good or bad in Boy Scouts, my mind immediately goes to a bunch of times where me and just comrades and scouts, we're just boys being boys, goofing around, enjoying ourselves, exploring, learning new things, etc. And I haven't always seemed to enjoy things and tend to complain a lot on camping trips, and that did get annoying. But I do enjoy things and have had a lot of fun throughout my journey as a scout. One such memory is of SOAR, which, again, I didn't expect anyone else to mention SOAR today. I don't remember what the acronym stands for. All I know is that R stands for river. Where someone who isn't here made us some soup from water and hot dogs. All I can really say about that is that you would understand if you're there. That is, multiple people in this room are aware I am. That is, as I mentioned before, pretty much a love-hate relationship with camping. On one specific camping trip where we were camped out next to the lake, our troop sometimes does mystery campouts where scouts aren't told where we are going. One year, effectively, we did a pseudo version of Hatchet, if you know that book. Well, the specific location for this one was next to a lake. I think it was somewhere in Sandwich, New Hampshire. I vaguely remember something about Sandwich at least. And for the first part of that trip, everything was fine. Weather was clear, sky was clear, nice. But later that day or the next day, don't really remember. Being a perfectly prepared scout that I am, always, as proven by the amount of ums and whatnot in my speech right now, I definitely brought enough socks to last the entire trip, rain and all. Is what I would say if I was definitely being sarcastic about saying colony. And I completely underestimated the amount of socks that are reasonable for a camping trip where you know nothing about what's going to happen. And I had to borrow a pair from Scoutmaster Rich. Learning from our failures, while not fun or pleasant, is something I learned a lot through my time as a scout and just as a human being in general. and my family tends to remind me of that a lot. I'm not 50, nor is anyone else. We all succeed our own ways. And remind me that you have to, if you don't have balance in your life, you're just going to be a chaotic mess. While fun, it's annoying. But again, work in progress. If you're not one now, just keep working for it. Trying your best and trying your best, and eventually succeeding is what matters most. Not the succeeding part necessarily, but the goal of getting to it. Honestly, I'd like to thank several people. The first leader I had in scouting, who isn't here, Steve Spack, who is the den leader for my Cub Scout group. First scout master, Richard Persia, who had to deal with my constant complaining on camping trips, was again, as I mentioned, a major supporter of the Eagle Project. Thank you for the constant mentorship and guidance throughout building the flag and flag boxes. Current Scoutmaster, Peter Bennett, who is also, hasn't had to deal with my complaining nearly as much as Rich did, but I still have some. My Eagle advisor, Steve Boris, who taught me through keeping organized and mostly for keeping on track and making deadlines. Sponsor and primary beneficiary of the Eagle Project, Kim Everly. Salem Veterans Service, please. He's very good. All the scouts that come before me and have helped guide me along the path through this long path to this point. Of course, people have had suffered through me the longest. Those two. Thank you, and lastly, Ollie, thank you all for coming. Now, at the end of this was just a quote. I don't remember the full quote, but if you know where it's from, you know where it's from. It's what you do with the gift of life that you have. Goodbye.
Steve Forrest with the mentoring film.
Yeah.
I would like to invite the Senior Patrol Leader for Troop 83, Joseph.
I congratulate both Jeremy and William as Eagle Scouts. The Eagle soars high and seeks to rest only upon the lofty peaks. As an Eagle Scout, you too must soar high. You must not swerve from the path of duty. Your ideals must be lofty. You must strive to attain that which is the highest and noblest in life. After the colors are retired, we invite everyone to come forward, congratulate Jeremy and William and their parents, and to join us for food and refreshments. Thank you for joining us today. Can I please ask everybody to stand for the retiring of the colors? Color guard, please retire the colors.
Thank you.